So today I'm making kimchi, and this is a bowl of peppers. I have a little bit of onion at the bottom of it, but not much green onion. And the green onion's mostly there. That's 5 bunches of green onion. Most of the bowl is filled with radish, which is grated up. And this is 3 heads of purple cabbage, and the rest on top is garlic and ginger. A little bit of peppers minced in. And well, here, I guess I'll put the camera down. I'll show you what I'm doing. The basic difference between making kimchi and making sauerkraut is that you don't have to worry about the measurements of the salt. Let's just set that there for now. With the cabbage. So another thing you can do to make it easier is you can add water. So you can dissolve your salt, your sea salt, in water, and then pour it on top of the cabbage in the bowl, and then just go do whatever you want to do with your day and just let it work itself, rather than like with the sauerkraut, you have to be precise about your measurements of salt because it's going to stay in there. So with the kimchi, you rinse it out, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, with the sauerkraut, you have to work the salt, and then the juice, the salt works the juice out of the cabbage, which it does in this case too. Yeah, the basic difference is it's going to stay. Whatever salt you put into the sauerkraut is going to stay in there. With this, you rinse it out. And I save the rinse. I save the cabbage salt water because it's good stuff. It's sea salt, it's boiled water, and cabbage juice, right? So I can use that to make a soup stock later on. So now, another basic difference is you don't attempt anything without the rubber gloves for kimchi, because you're adding hot pepper. And this time last year I used a different kind of hot pepper. It doesn't really matter which you use. It's going to be a different, different peppers have a bit of a different flavor to them, as well as a different heat. So it's good to try new things and see, sometimes you might want to try a smokier flavored. This is going to slide. Anyway, I'm going to put this on my lap. What I normally do is I work this in front of the TV. So, anyway, and I forgot to mention, this is optional. You don't have to do this. But I ground up some wakame in with my coffee grinder, and I'm going to put about half of it in because it's actually really strong. So I don't want to put the whole amount that I worked, and I'm going to end up, once I get this mixed in, I'm going to mix in that, and I'm shivering too much. So I'm just going to tell you how to do it rather than show. I was going to show you the whole thing, but I'm just going to be shivering the whole time. I'm pretty cold. So I'm going to get under some covers with a hot water bottle, and I'm going to do this in front of the TV on my lap. So this is what I do. I take the bowl, and then, so I'm going to work that into there, and it'll be heaped up because that's not all going to fit in there flat. But that's okay. I won't spill it. And then you pack it into the jar, and still wearing the gloves because that's gonna burn your fingers, and then you're not gonna want to use the washroom or do anything afterwards, because the peppers are quite hot. Even though this type of pepper isn't as hot as the peppers I used last year, it's still hot. So you pack it into the jar, and you push down as firmly as you can, because you want the liquid to be on top of the cabbage. It must be. Otherwise, you have to add moisture to it. And you can add water, Or you could add some other flavoring if you prefer. It doesn't matter. It just has to be submerged. So, and then, like in this case, I do have a rubber thing on this jar. See, I'm using one of these old lids with the glass. It doesn't matter. You don't need the seal. I was telling somebody in the thrift store about that. With this, like anyway, you can just put the glass top. I'm just going to take that off. You can just put the glass top on there and then just weight it down with books or whatever you have. Maybe you have some clean bricks laying around or something. I don't know. Just something to weigh it down. And you put this inside a Rubbermaid tub in the basement, and you can, they call it burping the jars. You just, that's all you do, to let some of it, because otherwise it's going to be pushing, the gas is going to be pushing fluid out to it, and you'll have a big sloppy mess at the bottom of your Rubbermaid tub, and then you have to wash that out before it starts getting all gross. Anyway, so yeah, you don't even need to you don't need a seal, because you don't even need the ring. You don't need any of that while it's fermenting. And then once take that off, put the lid back on, because I'm not going to do this here. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in now, cold. Anyway, then you put it in your sauerkraut kimchi fridge, which you have in the basement, just like I do. And it doesn't matter, again, you don't need to seal, because basically if all you have in your probiotic food fridge is probiotic food, then it's like it's sealed inside, like the bunch of jars are inside the other, in a bigger jar, the fridge. So there's nothing else that's going to get after those things, and you can just store it just like that. I'd advise putting the ring on at that point, but you don't have to seal it, is what I'm saying. You can use these when you find the old jars with the glass lids, and they don't have, a lot of the time they don't have that rubber ring seal, and I have to go in, I'm cold. So anyway, I have given you enough information so you can figure out how to do this yourself.